All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Gen716 back here again, and today I want to talk to you guys about why I believe Quinton Jefferson is the best signing that the Buffalo Bills that they've done so far. I know now I definitely know what people are going to be saying. Well, we had Stephon Diggs, AJ Klein, we had all these type of guys, right? You know, these players, they got to be better than Quinton Jefferson, right? I'm not just talking about not just the quality, but just sometimes where they would definitely where they had the player, right? Quinton Jefferson, they signed him on a 2-year, $13 million deal, and this is one of the Seattle's best defensive linemen, arguably the best defensive lineman on that Seattle Seahawks group for 2019. And again, we paid Vernon Butler 2 years, $16 million. Mario Addison 3 years, $30 million, right? AJ Klein was around 3 years, $18 million. And the best defensive player that they signed was 2 years, $13 million. A wonderful job by Brandon Beane. I don't know how in the hell that Quinton Jefferson accepted this money, but he did. And the Buffalo Bills have him. Now, some people are going to question, why did we pick up another defensive tackle? Where does he fall under our scheme? We got way too many defensive tackles there. Not everybody could play. Not everybody, for the Buffalo Bills, that they can try to rotate every single defensive tackle in this Leslie Frazier defense. Quinton Jefferson, not a lot of people know about. He's a guy that can play literally everywhere on the defensive line, right? You can play him at the classic 3 technique. You can play him at a 1. You can play him at a 5. For those who don't know what I mean, the 1, you can play him at nose tackle, or you can play him just straight up as a 5 technique as a defensive end, where he can either rush the quarterback or he can play as an edge defender. He can play as an edge defender and do it at an elite level because he's a phenomenal edge defender. He has he's a phenomenal edge presence there at a 5. So you can literally rotate him everywhere. That's why I think he's perfect for this type of scheme under Leslie Frazier, right? Even though that he's probably going to be named as a defensive tackle, and he probably will rotate with Ed Oliver at that 3. You can put him out at a 5 where Ed Oliver plays the 3. You can have him in a lot of pass rushing situations where you can either rush him in the interior or you could rush him outside. And again, there are cases where, of course, maybe they get another pass rusher and they want Jerry Hughes and maybe this particular pass rusher on the outside, but they want to keep Ed Oliver there. Maybe Vernon Butler's not working out. We need somebody to play at the 1. You can plug Quinton Jefferson right there at the 1, even though he's 270 to 80 pounds. He still is dominant. He's he's a really, really good player. Not a lot of people know about him a lot. And again, I would just ask fans to take some time, watch some film on him. I know he doesn't have the sack production or the tackle for loss production, but if you really watch the film, if you really take a time to actually watch the film on Quinton Jefferson, you guys are going to be blown away by his presence on the team. There's a reason why he was in my opinion, he was the best defensive lineman that Seattle had. Even though they had Jadeveon Clowney, right? Quinton Jefferson was by far the best defensive lineman probably over the last 2 years. And this is even with Jaron Reed with all his sack numbers. I think again, as fans, we pay too much attention to sack production. And we'll say Vernon Butler's better because he had 6 sacks this year. Or we'll say that, the argument, right? Shaq Lawson sucks because he had 6.5 sacks. But they don't know exactly what type of presence or what type of impact he on this Bills team. He was primarily an edge defender, and he was an elite edge defender. He just had the sacks as a bonus. But the reason why Miami paid him that much money is to be that edge defender and be that elite presence where he can take literally one side of the ball away when they're running the ball, but can also have that bonus of rushing the passer. What I love about this is that they got 2 guys, Vernon Butler, who could rush inside in the interior, right? He can play as a nose, or you can play him at a classic 3 technique, but he can also rush the passer in the interior. But Jefferson's a guy that is so damn versatile that you can play him everywhere. And it doesn't matter what type of defensive formation it's going to be under. You could literally rotate them all across the field, and Buffalo won't take that loss, right? If Ed Oliver, once again, you can play him at a 3 technique. Guess what? You can move Quinton Jefferson to the outside with Jerry Hughes, right? If you need another edge rusher to pair up with Jerry Hughes or maybe Trent Murphy or whoever's playing at the outside, you can move Jefferson inside or at the nose, and he'll be absolutely just fine. So even though, yes, we got guys like AJ Klein who will be playing At that weak side linebacking position, I think he'll do fine there. Vernon Butler, I talked about the significance of him. Again, it's gonna be interesting seeing him because again he excelled more in a 3-4 defense more than a 4-3 defense. So that's why I'm a little concerned about that. But again, I think Vernon Butler is a fine player that's still developing. Quinton Jefferson at 26 years of age, we got him at 2 years, $13 million. I think by the end of his contract, or maybe even next year, this is the guy that we could be extending, because he is an impactful player. He's crucial towards our defense. And again, as far as the versatility goes, the dude is an absolute monster. And there's a reason why the Seattle Seahawks fans, they're going to miss him. There's a reason why they love Quinton Jefferson, just because of the type of impact he made for the Seattle Seahawks defense. And I definitely think by adding him to our defense with Ed Oliver, that's still grooming and still learning, with the defensive line group that we're already starting to build up here, Buffalo's defensive line could be deadly going into 2020. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe, especially if you want more Bills content, especially in the future. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for you guys. Stay safe. Have a good day. This is Gen 716. I'm out. Peace.